So this batch is H2 temper. हाँ बेटा, your doubt is when the slope will be positive or negative. If line is like this, ऐसा shape है, it will be always having positive slope, and if line is having this inclination, then this is a negative slope. Clear? So it only depends on the shape of line. ऐसा है कि ऐसा है, inclination पे depend करता है. Clear?
हाँ सर।
चलो. In last lecture, we have covered these topics. First, distance and displacement. Covered? Displacement. Second, speed and velocity. Both type of speed and velocity covered. Average and instantaneous. And we had the conclusion that delta x, that is the displacement, is always less than or equals to delta s, that is distance, and v average, velocity average, magnitude is always less than or equals to, is always less than or equals to the, just a minute. It will always be equals to less than or equals to average speed. And I told you that velocity instantaneous, magnitude will always be equals to speed instantaneous. At a particular instant, both will be having the same magnitude. Clear? Bolo? And how we will calculate average velocity? It will be final minus initial divided by total time taken, Tf minus Ti. And how we will calculate instantaneous? That is dx by dt. Simple. Clear? Is it clear? Bolo bhai.
Yes sir.
So that's all about the last lecture. Now we will proceed with average velocity. If question is asking about the average velocity, simple method. Suppose if object is moving from A to B and B to C and C to D. A to B length is L1, B to C length is L2, and C to D length is L3. Clear? Speed is V1, V2 and V3. And question asking about what will be the average velocity. So question is asking about the average velocity. If the object is moving in the same direction, in that case average velocity and average speed will be same. Clear? It will be same. So when the question asks about the average velocity or speed, the simple solution is that sorry, you just have to apply simple approach. V average is equals to total distance or displacement. If they are asking about the distance, if they are asking about the velocity, then you have to take the displacement, and if question asking about the speed, then you have to take distance. But if the object is going in the same direction, in that case distance and displacement will be equal. So I am just taking the displacement or distance, because in a single direction motion both will be same upon the total time. So how much time they will take? The T1 will be L1 by V1, T2 will be L2 by T3 will be L3 by V3. So simple average velocity will be L1 plus L2 plus L3. It's the total length. Is there any lag on the screen? Any lag?
No sir.
And total time will be T1 plus T2 plus T3. That's about average speed. Okay. Simple. से नोट कर लो. Question is simple. Car is moving from A to B 50 meter with a speed of 10 meter per second A to B. Then next 60 meter with a speed of 5 meter per second, and next C to D 40 meter with a speed of 2 meter per second. Find V average. Find V average. So solution of this question will be V average is equals to total length covered L1 plus L2 plus L3 upon में T1 plus T2 plus T3. So what will be T1? The T1 will be, it will be 5 seconds. T2 will be 12 seconds, and T3 will be 20 seconds. Clear? 50 plus 60 plus 40 divided by T1 5 plus 12 plus 20. So that is equals to 150 divided by 37.
Yes, 37. 4.05.
So this is required answer. This is, you don't need to solve to the decimal places. The fraction will work. Okay, 150 by 37. This is your average velocity or speed. In this case, the velocity and speed will be having the same magnitude because the direction is same, as the displacement and distance will be same. So average velocity and average speed will be same. Clear? समझ गए?
Yes,
Done?
sir.
So shall we move to the next question? Note हो गया है? Done? Another question. Object is moving from A to B 50 meter with a speed of 10 meter per second. Then next 50 meter for 10 second. Then next 50 meter for 20 meter per second. Not 20 meter per second, it's 5 meter per second. 5 meter per second. Then next 50 meter for 2 meter per second. A, B, C, D, E. Find V average. Find velocity average or a speed average.
So,
Hmm?
in the second, in the distance basically have given us 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, the data is correct and that is sufficient to solve the question.
Okay, sir.
V average will be equals to, V average is equals to 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 upon time taken. In the first one, the T1 is equals to 5 seconds. The second one, T2 is already given. Instead of giving velocity, they have given time, so that is 10 seconds. And T3 is 10 seconds. T4 is 25 seconds. So the time will be 5 plus 10 plus 10 plus 25. 30, 40, 50. So answer is 200 by 50. Is it coming 4 meter per second?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Is it
yes.
मैचिंग विद आंसर? ठीक है, ओके, चलो, बहुत अच्छे है ना, समझ में आ गया. नाउ यू कैन कैलकुलेट वेलोसिटी एवरेज और स्पीड एवरेज. ठीक है, सबको समझ में आया अच्छे से? एनी डाउट विद दिस सोल्यूशन? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है ना. ये सिंपल है, जस्ट गिव मी द आंसर. इसका क्या आएगा आंसर? इट्स वेरी सिंपल. जल्दी से बता दो.
Done.
Done.
Sir.
Answer.
Meter per second.
0.67
Hmm?
3 meter per second.
3 meter per second. आपने कर दिया ना, v1 प्लस v2/2 किया है ना.
Yes, sir.
क्यों किया है? मैंने तो ऐसा कहीं नहीं पढ़ाया. थ्रू आउट द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ v एवरेज मैंने कहीं नहीं पढ़ाया कि v1 प्लस v2/2 होता है. कहीं नहीं कराया है.
Please
हाँ.
वैसे देख सकते हैं.
So I got 8 by 3. Same
आंसर
sir.
इज 8/3.
Same I got 8 by 3.
दिस अप्रोच इज इनकरेक्ट, है ना. इतना कराने का मतलब ये था कि इफ यू आर अप्लाइंग दिस फॉर्मूला v1 प्लस v2/2, गलत है भाई. अभी भी ये करोगे क्या? ठीक है, ये क्यों करोगे? यू नॉट टेकिंग एवरेज. किसी ऐसे चीज का एवरेज नहीं ले रहे हैं. वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग एवरेज वेलोसिटी. वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग एवरेज वेलोसिटी. हर केस में दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट. v1 प्लस v2/2 ये नहीं कर सकते आप. ठीक है, यू हैव टू गो थ्रू द फॉर्मूला. फॉर्मूला क्या है अपना? देखो, ए से बी 100 मीटर with a speed of 4 meter per second. B to C 100 meter with a speed of 2 meter per second. Time is t1 is equals to 25 second. t2 is equals to 50 second. V average will be simple, 100 plus 100 divided by time, that is 25, plus I think it's 25 plus 4. It's 25 plus
50 sir.
50. Yeah, it's correct. No, it's correct.
Awesome.
50. So it's 200 by 75. That will be 8/3. 8/3 meter per second. So this is the correct approach, beta. You can't just simply add and then take the average. So you have to apply the basic formula, that is total length covered upon the time taken. ये अप्रोच लगाओगे ना, you will be having options of this approach v1 plus v2/2, but that will be incorrect. This is incorrect. May possible you apply this method in some question, it will work because the data is there. उस पे data पे it will depend that whether this will be correct or incorrect, but this is not the exact formula to calculate the average speed of velocity. For the calculation of average,
Why does this formula not work here? We want to
Beta, because you are not taking average of two quantities. You are calculating average velocity. That depends on displacement and time. Okay. It depends on displacement also. Clear?
Sir,
Uh-huh.
sir, when will we take mod for velocity?
When we take the mods for when we have to take the magnitude only. If object is going in different direction, suppose if it is going in left direction, then it will be having a minus sign. So when we take the mod, so that will give you only magnitude, that is 8/3, not the sign. This formula is valid only when the object is traveling for the same time interval. Suppose it travels for t time with v1 speed and t time with the v2 speed. In that case, displacement is v1t plus v2t upon the time taken is t plus t. So in that case, you will be getting v1 plus v2/2. So this formula is only valid when the object is traveling with the same equal interval of time. Okay, in that case you can apply. Actually, you are applying the basic formula, that is total length covered upon the time taken, and this is coming to be this formula, but the parent formula is this. Clear?
Okay, sir.
ये गलती नहीं करना है.
And sir, from this question, we got the value in like minus 8/3, so we would have to put the mod, right?
They're asking only about the magnitude. What is the average velocity? If question is asking about the direction, then you have to take the sign. Otherwise, you can only take the magnitude. Clear? Until unless direction is not asked, then you can simply give the value of magnitude. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Another question. This is about acceleration. So I'll give you another question about average velocity. This is the last question for calculation of average velocity. In this question, you have to calculate average velocity as well as average speed, both of them. The object is going A to B 50 meter, then B to C 50 meter, then C to D 50 meter, then it is taking a U-turn and it is coming back to the point C, to the point E, which is just nearby C. This is also 50 meter. I'm not writing this because you have to calculate yourself. This line is same. So 50 meter, 50 meter, 50 meter. The speed was 10 meter per second. Then for 5 seconds. Then 5 meter per second. Then 10 meter per second. The question is asking you about find V average, velocity average, and speed average. Sure. So, first, what do you want to calculate first? Average speed or average velocity?
Average speed.
Average speed. This is speed average. Average speed. That is equals to distance by time. So that is equals to 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50. Again plus 50. 4 times we will add the 50. And time will be, this T1 is equals to 5 seconds.
That's correct.
This T2 is equals to, already given, 5 seconds. This T3 is equals to 10 seconds. And what about T4? T4 is
5
equals to
seconds.
5 seconds. So time is simple, 5 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5. So that is 25.
Yeah.
It's 200
Yes,
by
sir.
25. So answer is 8.
8 meter per second.
8 meter per second is the average speed. And what about average velocity? Average velocity is equals to displacement by time taken. So displacement will be 50 plus 50 plus 50, then minus 50, then minus 50. And time is same, 5 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5. So it's 100 by 25. That is equals to 4 meter per second. Correct? So in this case, we got the first case when the velocity and speed are not equal. So whenever there is any change in direction, in that case, velocity must be less than speed. Clear?
So in the velocity average, why have we taken all the 4 points?
Because we will take the displacement first. It is 50, then 50, then 50, then minus 50.
But so the final point is C only, so we can
Yeah,
just
you
take
can
100.
directly. You can also calculate the final point is C. So in that case, you can also calculate it by just 50 plus 50. एक ही चीज है, because this is coming to be
So why
0.
should we take the time intervals for all 4 then?
Because the time is same na. When it is going from A to C, the final point, the net time is all the time covered na. You have to take all this time, the total time. इस यहाँ पे
Why,
displacement.
sir? The final point is C, so we should just take the time 5 seconds and 5 seconds.
Beta, but it is not stopping at 15 seconds na. The object is coming to rest after 25 seconds. the object is coming to rest at 25 seconds, na? We will take the entire motion. That doesn't mean that at the moment it is coming to C, we will stop the motion. The object is still in motion. We have to take the entire time interval. जो भी time लगेगा, you have to take this time and this time also. आप यही कह
So
रहे हो
I
ना?
didn't
At the
get
moment,
it.
at the moment it is arriving at C, you just stop the motion at this point. But this is not happening now. The motion is still there, is still motion, and this time interval will be 10 second plus 15 second. You have to add this time interval. Clear? नहीं समझा?
So नहीं.
बेटा net displacement is 100, but object is in motion for 25 seconds. The time taken by the object to reach this point C is 25 seconds. So you have to take this time.
तो सर हमेशा पूरे
बेटा,
मोशन का टाइम लेना
object started
पड़ेगा.
at t is equals to 0 and object finally landed at t is equals to 25. So what will be the time interval? 25 seconds, na? So how can you stop the motion at 10 seconds? समझे?
हाँ सर. Okay.
मैं समझ गया कि आप कह रहे हो कि at the moment it is arriving at C, we just stop the motion. लेकिन this is not happening, ना? Object is still motion up to 25 seconds. So you have to take the entire motion, है ना? Final point तक आने में it is taking 25 seconds. Clear?
तो सर हमेशा टोटल टाइम लेना है ना, जितना भी मोशन
final
का है.
time you have. What is the definition of average velocity? That is delta x by delta t, na? Net displacement by total time taken, na? Clear?
हाँ सर.
चलो डन हो गया.
So while finding displacement upon speed, displacement upon time. So displacement is C, D, and E. So when we move, so displacement should be 0 now. So 50 and 50 only should be considered, no?
Displacement is 0 from which point? From A to C.
So C to E.
C to E displacement is 0. That's why we are taking plus 15 minus 15. Na? That is giving the 0.
Just mine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's
done. Clear? So shall I give you another question on this same approach, or we can proceed to the acceleration? बताओ.
so one question.
One more question. एक और question ले लो, है ना? Let's try to calculate this question. With 100% accuracy. D. This curve is having no length, है ना? $50 meter, 50 meter, 50 meter, 75 meters. $10 meter per second, 10 second, 2 meter per second, 5 meter per second. Question is asking about following calculation. Find average velocity and average speed between A and D, comma A and C, comma A and E, comma B and E, comma C and E. Clear? So you you have to calculate average velocity and average speed for the following 5 interval A and D, A and C, A and D, B and D, C and D. Clear? चलो शुरू हो जाओ. So between A and D, when you talk about between A and D, first we will calculate between A and D. So it will be simple. V average, velocity average will be A and D. A and D, it will be 150, and time will be, the T1 will be 5 second, T2 is 10 second, T3 is T3 is 25 seconds, and what about T4? T4 is 25. नहीं, sorry, 15.
15 seconds.
Yes.
T2 ही बोला है ना.
So what will be average velocity? It will be total displacement, that is 150 divided by total time taken, that is 5 plus 10 plus 25, so that is 40. Is it 40? So answer is 15 by 4. And
Yes.
in this case the speed is also 15 by 4 because the direction is same. Clear? The direction is same. That's why speed and velocity will be having the same.
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Between A and C, between A and sorry, between A and C, A and C. So how we will calculate between A and C? Between A and C. In that case, also average velocity will be equals to average speed because displacement is 100 A and C and time is 15. So this is coming 5, 3, 5, 20 by 3.
Yes, sir. 20 by 3.
And
Yes.
speed is also 20 by 3 because direction is same.
Okay.
Direction is same. Clear?
See.
Next is A and E. A and E. So when you calculate between A and E, you have to take little bit precaution because the direction is changing. The direction is changing. So what about the displacement? What about the displacement between A and E? It will be 75 meter. Clear? So displacement will be 75 and time taken will be the entire time interval 5 plus 10 plus 25 plus 15. So this is coming to be 30, 40, 55.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Clear? So 15 by 11
Yes.
is the average velocity. And what about average speed? The net length covered is 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 75. So this is 225 by 55.
Yes, sir. About 55.
Clear? Any doubt?
Sir,
Huh?
for average velocity in this in A to E, I did 150 minus 75 instead of directly
Yeah,
taking
that is correct. 150 minus 75. That's correct.
Okay,
अभी
sir.
तक तो समझ जाना चाहिए that we are calculating initial and final point, so you can simply take the separation between initial and final point. Okay. So whether you write 150 minus 75 or you write just simply 75, that doesn't matter. Final answer matters. Okay. But when you write this in your school, then you have to take the step that the displacement is 50 plus 50 plus 50 minus 75. Okay.
Okay,
स्कूल में
sir.
अगर सीधे किया तो मार्क्स बढ़ा देगा टीचर. ठीक है. Between B and E, when we move to B and E, बताओ इसमें क्या होगा? Between B and E, the last one is C and E. So इसमें we will calculate between B and E. When you move from B to E, this length is 25.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so average velocity will be the net displacement from B to E is 25, and time taken 5 seconds from, if it is taking 10 seconds to move from B to C, then it will be 5 seconds na, 5 seconds. Clear? 5 seconds. When you move from B to E, तो simply कैसे निकालो और आसानी से निकल जाएगा, यहाँ से ऐसे मत निकालो, that will create a confusion. When you move from B to E, the time taken will be 10 second plus 25 second plus 15 second. The net time is 50 second.
Yes, sir.
So answer is 1
Yes,
by
sir.
2 meter per second. Clear? And what about the speed? What about the speed? You're covering 50 plus 50 plus 75. So that means 175. 175 by total time is 50. Clear? So you can simplify. Simplify कर लेना. So उसमें कुछ that is not a rocket science. कितना आएगा? That will be 7 by 2. Is it correct? 7 by 2.
3.5.
Yes, sir.
That's so correct.
And what about C to E? C to E. So when you go from C to E, the displacement will be 50 minus 75. 50 minus 75. Okay. So when you take the direction, so that will be 50 minus 75. So that will be minus 25. But total time taken will be 25 plus 15.
40.
40. So this will be having the negative sign. Negative sign shows that you are moving to the left side. This is positive. Clear? And what about average speed? What about average speed? 50 plus 75. So that is equals to 125 divided by time 40. Clear? So that's all about distance and displacement. इसमें इसके बाद I don't think that कुछ बचेगा for the confusion of average velocity and average speed. Clear? ठीक है?
Yes.
This question will solve all your doubts regarding distance, displacement, and average speed, average velocity. Clear? आगे बढ़ें.
Sir, last वाले question में for finding the average velocity, won't we use mod? Like it's coming negative, right?
If I take the sign, then I will take a minus sign, because if question is asking about the just only velocity, so that means it is asking about the velocity along with the direction. But if question is asking only magnitude of velocity, so that will be 25 by 40 only. Okay. So whenever the question asks about
Okay,
only
sir.
magnitude, then you just have to take the mod. Otherwise, you have to put a minus sign. Minus sign shows the direction also. Clear?
Yes,
Clear?
sir.
Sure. आगे बढ़ें. Now we will move to acceleration. Part. पीछे जो भी मैंने कराया about average velocity and average speed, understood? सब कुछ अच्छे से समझ में आया?
Sir.
Because the NEET will ask you question from this topic, है ना? ये favorite topic है उसका, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर बच्चे वही करते हैं V1 plus V2 plus V3 by 2, 3 ऐसे मीन निकाल के ना, but that is incorrect method. Now acceleration. Acceleration से what you understand by acceleration? What does it mean by acceleration? Acceleration क्या होता है? What do you understand by acceleration?
Change in speed with time.
This is just a rate of change of speed or velocity. The correct definition is rate of change of velocity, not the speed. Velocity, rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So we call it acceleration. It is of two type. Acceleration is also of two type. Acceleration is of two type. First one is average and the second one is instantaneous. The same, we will apply the same term We will have the same term like average velocity, average instantaneous velocity, average acceleration, instantaneous acceleration, average jerk, instantaneous jerk. You know? So the topic will be same, the term will be same, and the calculation is also having the same method. So when we calculate average acceleration, so that is simple. When you talk about average acceleration, so that is change in velocity upon my time taken. Can you tell me what will be the instantaneous acceleration? Instantaneous acceleration?
dv by
Yeah,
dt.
simple. dv by, it will be the differentiation of velocity vector. Clear? So average acceleration is net change in velocity upon my time taken, and instantaneous is differentiation of velocity vector. So this is final velocity minus initial velocity upon my tf minus th. Clear? Clear? Just note down this slide, इसको पूरा अच्छे से note करो.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when I
1
draw,
minute, sir.
VT graph. For this we will be having VT graph. I don't know whether we have completed this part or not. Lekin when you draw the VT graph, we did anything about VT graph, velocity versus time graph, any slope
No,
calculation?
sir.
Okay. So what I'll do that we will take two graphs. One is xt graph and another is VT graph. So we will apply the same terms and same calculation of xt in VT graph. So if you are having a xt graph and the right side you are having the velocity versus time graph, मुझे बस ये बताओ, when you calculate slope in xt graph, what you get? Suppose if you have to calculate the slope between this point A and C, and this is point B. So when you calculate instantaneous slope or average slope, so when you connect this point A and C, yellow, we will have the yellow. So when you calculate the slope between A and C, what you get? क्या मिलता है?
Average velocity.
Average velocity. This gives you average velocity. This tan theta, this theta. This is delta x and this is delta t. So this tan theta will give you, here tan theta will give you V average from A to C. A to C na? That doesn't mean A minus C, that is A to C. Between A to C, you will get average velocity. Clear? And when you take instantaneous at B, when you take instantaneous velocity at B, you just have to calculate instantaneous slope. So at this point, dx by dt will give you क्या? Vb instantaneous. Clear? Hi Anna. So xt graph slope will give you velocity. Xt graph slope will give you velocity. Clear? Whenever you calculate the slope in xt graph, it will give you velocity. In the same way, when you calculate the slope in vt graph, that will give you which term? Acceleration. Simple. Whenever you take any slope part, that will give you the term next term. In xt graph, when you take the slope, it will give you v. In vt graph, when you take slope, it will give you acceleration. In at graph, when you take the slope, it will give you jerk. The simple application is there. Similarity इतनी है कि याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना? dx by dt will give you vb instantaneous. Clear? तो इतना आसान है ये, बहुत आसान है. It's very simple. Done? And the same figure we will draw in velocity versus time. So suppose if you are having 2 point A and C, Again we will apply the same approach. The graph may be different. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि for this 60 graph I am plotting this VT, है ना, they are not correlated, because ये अलग होगा ये अलग होगा, that will be different. I am just showing you that how to calculate the slope and what the slope will give you. Clear? So when you connect these dots A and C, and when you take instantaneous slope at B, what you will get, you will simply get, so when you take theta here, delta V, what will be delta V? What was delta x? Delta x was xc minus xa, and delta t is equals to tc minus ta. In the same way, here tan theta is equals to delta V upon with delta t, that is equals to final velocity, or you can say Vc minus Va, or Tc divided by Tc minus Ta. So that will give you average acceleration. Clear? Is it clear? Clear hai? Is it clear? And when you take differentiation or slope of instantaneous slope of this graph, that is dv by dt, so whenever you take dv by dt, so that will give you instantaneous acceleration. Clear? So dv by dt simply give you instantaneous acceleration at that point. A instantaneous. At which point? At B point. Clear? Which point? At B point. Clear? So simple approach you will apply. X is equals to t cube. So that means displacement position vector is a function of time का square. So in this question you have to calculate. इसमें कुछ पूछेगा. जैसे first, find average velocity from t is equals to 2 to t is equals to 5 seconds. Clear? Second, instantaneous at t is equals to 4 seconds. Third, average acceleration from t is equals to 2 to t is equals to 6 seconds. You take different limit. And fourth one is A instantaneous. इसे होमवर्क से करके लाओगे या मैं इससे पहले बताऊं आपको? बताओ. Or whether I should go with the solution? बताओ. You want to try this question in homework? करके लाओ, ठीक है?
Give the solution now.
No. Next question is x is equals to t square plus t plus 10. Same part you have to calculate.
So what's the fourth question?
Instantaneous acceleration at t is equals to 3 seconds. Clear? T is equals to 4 seconds. I'm changing the limit part I'm changing 0, 3 and 2 to 4, not 2 to 4, 4 to 6. ठीक है? So you have to attempt this question, और इसके साथ ये भी करना है, ये वाला this question also. ठीक है? So all the questions are uploaded in your PDF. You can attempt these questions in your homework. होमवर्क में करके लाना है. आज थ्योरी पार्ट इतना ही रखें.